Grand final time, Meta Madness qualifier number 1, everybody, and we are starting with Haunted Mines. So, we are in the grand final. Once again, this is the first qualifier for Meta Madness. $2,000 of prize money are on the line for the main event. Fully sponsored, the entire event sponsored by me this time. We don't have a big company sponsor or anything here, but the tournament thus far has been absolutely awesome. Lots of fun, really enjoying it, but this is only the first qualifier, so we're going to get a lot more. And in Meta Madness, as usual, you have 2 rules. Basically, rule number 1 is a hero can only be played once within a series. You are probably familiar with that concept already since we used it for a fair amount of tournaments this year. But there is a second rule, and that means we have pre-bans. So for the playoffs, but also starting with the second qualifier, we have heroes that are banned for the entire event. The number of how many of those are banned always hinges on sub-goals that we have on the Twitch channel, and the community decides pretty much which heroes are going to be banned. There's a link in the description that you can click as well if you want to, where you can vote for which hero you don't want to see in the tournament, and then we're always going to move from the top and ban those heroes out. But essentially in the first qualifier here, we're starting without pre-bans, so you can only play a hero once within a series. This is a best of 5, by the way, that we're looking at right now. But then when we're going into qualifier number 2 or qualifier number 3, depending on the sub-goals that I mentioned earlier on Twitch, more heroes are slowly getting banned. Now, obviously, when we're going into the second qualifier, I'll let you know how many are pre-banned, which heroes are pre-banned, will all be written down right here. So you can check that out, but just that you already have a bit of an idea of how this is all going to go. Haunted Mines, this is also a little bit of a twist that we added, because for the playoffs we're going to determine for every single round the starting map for the players, and in the qualifiers we're going to determine the starting map for the grand final. So in this one, our first qualifier, we decided in favor of Haunted Mines, making this even more interesting, and yeah, it should be pretty awesome. Now, let's not forget that the Raiders were the team that came in from the winner bracket, so they were able to defeat pretty much all their opponents, make it to the winner bracket. They could now decide whether they wanted to have first pick or what they wanted to go for. And on the other side, we got the Saboteurs, who were sent into the losers bracket early, but were able to fight their way back into the grand final. So Genji, first pick for Dino now, whereas we have Gia on the side of the Raiders with Sylvanas. And I'm kind of excited for this. Third place was taken by the Cats, so already kudos to them. That was pretty impressive. They ended up in the winner bracket final. Couldn't take the Raiders down though, so now here in the grand final they're not present, but they still take a very respectable third place, and so it's the points that come with it for the leaderboard that will eventually then help them to qualify for the playoffs. And in this game, the question is, of course, who walks away with the most points for that leaderboard? Is it going to be the Saboteurs? Are they going to win the best of 5? Or is it going to be the Raiders? So, double pick for the blue team, and we get Garrosh and we get Lucio. It's kind of funny. I mean, Haunted Mines is not a map that you're seeing a lot. We had one tournament. If you haven't seen it, there's a playlist on the YouTube channel that you can check out. That was Meta Madness. Because in that tournament, we pretty much took away all of the standard meta maps, or most of them. And we gave the players Hanamura, we gave them Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay, and all those shenanigans. So if you want to see more of those, you can check out that playlist on YouTube. But also in this tournament, there is going to be a little bit more. So either way, Leo is currently banned, and that leaves us with a final ban for game number 1, and they are getting rid of Sergeant Hammer. Okay, it is hammer time. Or not. I mean, maybe we're getting Mirrodin. Mirrodin can also drop the hammer, and so can Falstad. So there's a couple. We're not only reliant on Sergeant Hammer here, but are we getting Anduin, for example? There's Mirrodin, so somebody can hammer it out a little bit. And my question is still, Anduin, yes or no? Light Bomb engage with Genji, or a bit of a different one? And it's Rhaegar instead. They go for Rhaegar on Haunted Mines. I mean, a little bit of wave clear is obviously always good here. You got to deal also with the golems once that the skulls are coming in. And for the blue team now, the question is more so, what exactly is Nano going to play? Traditionally, it would be Hanzo that we're looking towards, Chromie as well. They can always shift heroes around a bit, but those were 2 that were also specifically banned against him in previous games. So it could be that he's going to decide to play one of those. And the choice is Junkrat. Okay, Junkrat plus Sonya leaves us with the last pick, Rutsu, Mr. Carrigan. He really helped the team a lot playing Carrigan multiple times now, going through the tournament here. So it's going to be interesting if he drops a Carrigan pick at some point again. But they definitely need some damage. He could do it again right here if they wanted to. They have already some stuns lined up with the jet propulsion from Blaze and Mirrodin. So let's see what else they are gonna get here. Also, a quick note, in case that you didn't watch the previous series of the Saboteurs, we have a situation in which Yasu can't play. He has problems with his internet connection that developed. So instead, Death Knight is now subbing in for him today. Rutsu with Abathur. We're all set. Game number 1 of the Grand Final. Let's go. Yep, here we are. Haunted Mines. The map is real. It exists. We're here for the first game in the best of 5 Grand Final. On the left side, we got Sven on Sonya, Johan on Garrosh, Handog on Lucio, Nanos playing Junkrat, and Gia on Sylvanas. To the right side of the map, Hazops with Blaze. We got Death Knight on Rhaegar, Dino on Genji, Bad Benny on Muradin. That's a lot of really good targets for Symbiote too, as Rutsu plays Abathur in game number 1 of this series. So it is Abathur time. Let's go! And I'm all here for it. Abathur can of course also soak very nicely on the side lanes and also down in the mines. Well, you can soak at the top lane once that you are having the entire team down in the mines. So there's a lot of cool stuff that they can pull off with this luck. Question is just simply, do they go into the mines in the first place? It was really interesting the last time that we had a tournament with Haunted Mines. I mentioned Meta Madness and the playlist on YouTube earlier. There were some teams that just never entered the mines. They just didn't care. They just were pushing and forcing the opponent to meet their pressure plays. So it's interesting how the teams are playing this. This is heavily composition dependent, whether you are trying to go down there and get those skulls ready for a big golem, or how you are going to try to approach the game. Now, obviously, Genji already starting to jump in and get some assistance from Abathur. Even Death Knight is helping out early on, but Abathur needs to be careful. The problem with Abathur oftentimes is that in the early game you're just missing that extra hit point bar in big team fights, so you're trying to avoid them as best you can. And then once that you have your ult and you can go for the copy, the situation changes slightly. So yeah, there's that. But either way, with that now, we have still next camp claimed at the top, so each team picks one of the pumpkin camps up. And now the move down to the bottom of the map. Just a little bit of poking around before the mines actually open for the first time in this game. But it's obviously a fairly small map that we're talking about here. And I'm just curious to see what's happening once the mines open up. Are we going to get those games again where they're just trying to play it out with the skulls? Or is it instead just going to be a full focus on the pushing these lanes down? Sonya at the top, spin to win by Sven. They come from the winner bracket. This is their first match today, in fact. It's actually kind of interesting too, because for the Saboteurs, they played now, I want to say, 3 matches in a row. So it's been a fairly long day for them. Nothing too insane, but definitely has taken quite some time here. That's of course the disadvantage when you drop down into the losers bracket. You just have more games to go through. And the way that we are scheduling these days out for the qualifiers, the team that goes to the grand finals through the winner bracket has a lot more time. So they can relax a little bit, they can study their opponents properly, can go for a proper warm-up, and then just engage into these fights. And this is pretty much what they're now trying to do. So let's see how fresh they still are. Needle Spine as the level 4 choice for Abathur, so a little bit more damage for him. And everybody's just dancing around 2 viewpoints there, going for those watchtowers, getting a couple of camps together, and yeah, just getting ready for the first objective. And with Sylvanas, always the chance to use some Siege Giants like we see here. Come in and take a wall down. Mines opening in 5 more seconds, and then it's good to go. Hazo, for example, is already in trouble and has to be careful, but he's not the only one. Instead, it is Garrosh that falls. Garrosh goes down. Goodbye, my friend. Was nice knowing you. That's the first blood in the game, so the Saboteurs already starting strong. And they got Muradin down in the mines, trying to go for a couple of skulls there, but also coming straight up to the entrance. There's always this in and out game that teams are playing where they're trying to just enter the mines and jump around a little bit, play around vision, see if they maybe catch somebody off guard. Abathur, therefore, is starting to move a little bit further out so that he can soak some experience too. He has to be very careful against Junkrat though. And down at the bottom again, Muradin, with the help of the Symbiote, is just doing his thing. But Abby has to be really careful here, because they know where he is now. So he's already taking damage from Sylvanas, comes in and even baits that a bit. Here comes Muradin. He has no wave anymore. Baited. Nice. Abathur baiting Sylvanas in. She drops the wave and then gets flanked, realizes she doesn't have an escape tool anymore, and just succumbs to her fate. So that's that already. And there's a significant lead also in skulls for the red team now. So they've started to take a lead. They're looking at 45. So this is going to be big, particularly if they're getting the boss in the mines. So that's another one. But already a bit of a jump coming in here as they're trying to go for Muradin, and he gets flipped. Problem with the cooldown now, and it's the end of Bad Benny. Benny is gone, and so is Dino. Double kill for the Raiders. Pretty much saying, you know what, boys, yeah, we don't care. Forget it. Like, this isn't happening. Also, the last time that we had a tournament with this map, we had Sylvanas pretty much exclusively banned here. And you can tell why. Because she is already opening this up so insanely quickly. It's a small map, and wherever you're getting a couple of kills, you're immediately at your opponent's structures and you can take them out. So despite the fact that they've been losing a lot of these skulls, they are just now sitting tight and getting a fort destroyed. And they don't even have to go for this, by the way. They could just simply say, it's the first golem, what do we care? The first one doesn't do any damage whatsoever, so let's just sit tight and, yeah, play it slow, let them go for the skulls if they want to. We are just going to try and push instead. But now the entire team is collapsing onto the lane, and of course the red team is fully aware what's going on here. Yeah, they take the remaining skulls, but here's the team fight. Jet propulsion interrupted by Lucio. Nicely done. Really well done. And now they're going for Blaze, and they just murder him where he stands. Blaze is down. Gia, though, gets bitten by the dog. Rhaegar could get punished for it. Is trying to get away and is able to escape. Good for the dog. Down here, Nano also in trouble and he dies. So that's now 2 heroes down on the blue team while the golems are slowly appearing. But Bad Benny gets also murdered. So it's really just blow for blow between the two teams as they are opening this grand final up. Both of the golems very close. This is also kind of cute. I like these little traps that we have there as well. But the push is going strong. 4 kills, 2-4 now. And Sven is already dealing with this. Sylvanas is now coming back up at the top. There's some extra damage done as well. And we'll see how much they can get out of it. But it should be a fairly even trade. Then again, with Dino now dying at the bottom of the map, this is another kill against the red team that they can hardly afford. So they're starting to miss out a bit on proper defense. And this is getting slightly problematic because the defense at the bot lane has now already happened. Golem at the top is still doing some damage at least against the fort. And with Mule repair... Oh, Mule actually getting killed. Alright. Mule is gone. That gives the blue team another opportunity to take this one out before Mule is back to business. So that's also something to really consider here. Obviously, the Raiders are ahead already as is because they destroyed the bottom fort previously. So that's already nice. But right now, it's level 10 that everybody is looking at. We're getting Ancestral. No surprises here up to now. I'm looking at Sonya mostly to see what exactly she's going for. And she's of course... Yeah, okay, it's Wrath of the Berserker. She was holding that back for a second, but we got Wrath, so there's no nasty engage with the quick leap. Only Garrosh is the one that we're waiting for, and he goes for the taunt, for the Warlord's challenge right there. And they're trying to go for the cap, and they actually take it. Oh no, not yet. They're getting close, but they don't have it yet. X-Strike in the back, still alive, and Sylvanas with a nice Wailing Arrow. The camp has indeed been taken by the blue team. If they can also get a kill, that would of course be the dream. But yeah, Sonya's just now coming in, drops Wrath of the Berserker, and they are trying to push them back. Abathur copy goes down, but that's about it. That top fort, though, is exposed now. And Abathur doesn't have an ult any longer, so there comes the Mule. They know that, but if they can escort this in, there's a chance to destroy that fort before anything else happens. But obviously, the Saboteurs, they have very different plans. Ancestral on Blaze, as he drops the bunker, survives this, and this is not really looking good for the red team. They're doing their best here, and they're actually pushing them back as we speak, but I'm not sure if that fort can survive, because there's still a couple of siege giants around, and the next minion wave is also coming through. So, yeah, this is looking better and better. If they can get a kill here, it would be great. Oh, but that jet propulsion against Garrosh. Nice. Yeah, and then again, there's the taunt and the kill. Garrosh is alive, Blaze is dead, and Genji barely able to use the X-Strike to get out as the attack just continues right now. So, yeah, nicely done. They're chasing them hard at this point. Damn, they really want some extra kills, don't they? So while they are chasing them, one after another, we also have, with Rhaegar dying, the fort completely exposed. The siege giants were already on it. The mines are opened again, and that is now 7 kills to 4. So good job. Well done. At this point, we have the Raiders with a solid advantage. Half a level ahead. They have taken 2 forts down. Sylvanas particularly useful for them on this map here. And they try for another kill. They're trying for Genji again, and he drops his hit points quickly. As they're trying to get back. 36 skulls already for the Raiders. Still the question on how long they're willing to stick around here. So they're already starting to slowly retreat, as it seems. At least with a couple of their heroes. Garrosh moving up towards the top to hit the fountain here, I guess. Oh, and re-engages, goes immediately back down to the bottom of the map as they realize that they are looking at some trouble. That team fight might be forced upon them. So yeah, Garrosh instead going down to the bottom. Taps the fountain, and yeah, that's still fine. 43 skulls is what they have already. And now, of course, they can still try to maybe even go for the slugger at the bottom right. So let's see what they're actually going to do. It's pumpkins that they want to go for. And in the meantime, we have the red team just focusing on the boss. So it gets contested. If not for that, it would be 57 to 43. But with the root against Muradin, yeah, careful. If there's a follow-up, then you are running into a CC chain that you're not going to be able to escape from. So the red team is giving up on this, and that means we have now 65 skulls against 35. So a small advantage for the blue team that they can use. Technically, the rule of thumb was always the team with the bigger golem pushes with it. That was the rule of thumb back in the day. But that little pearl of wisdom has been abandoned a bit in the last tournament where we had the map added. So yeah, didn't really see that all that much anymore. Instead, we always had at least some defense set up, particularly if you're going up against Abathur. You gotta be a bit careful. But the teams have now both access to level 13 talents, which also gives us a synergy on Muradin with the healing static and his level 4 talent. Another hit is already coming, and there is the Riptire. Sonya at the top, so this is technically a 5 versus 4 down here at the bottom of the map, and it results in Garrosh dying. Garrosh goes down, and Sonya can still defend here with the help of Siege Giants too, as the Golem at the bottom of the map is doing damage. The question is just how much can it actually do now. As Sylvanas gets killed as well. Hello, sir. Sylvanas going down against Abathur, so that's bad news. And they might be able to take 1 or 2 of those structures down. But one tower is destroyed, the gate is going to get destroyed, so Abathur won't be able to do anything with his mule about that. If they can take that tower down here as well, that would be kind of neat, but it might not happen. So yeah, gets close, but Abathur can still mule this up if he decides to do so. With that said, we have 33,000 damage for Genji, and in addition to that, 31,000 now for our boy Junkrat. Yeah, the Saboteurs, they are still trying to move in and force another fight here. Experience is dead even between the two teams. I mean, seriously, they are very, very close now. And those fights are always on eye level. Every single one of them. Exactly what you want from a grand final. Benny gets attacked again. He already died twice in the game. Jumps down into the mines. They only send one hero down and then try and eliminate him up at the top when he re-emerges. But they cannot get that kill. I guess it gets interesting here. It definitely does. Going for another camp. Invaders ready. And immediately, honestly, all of that zone control with Junkrat and with Garrosh, the two of them doing such a fantastic job to keep them at bay. And here comes one kill, and they go for kill number 2. Double kill in favor of the Saboteurs. And now they're chasing. They chase, and they want more. Yeah, the Abathur copy goes down, but they are not able to get another kill just yet. So let's see how they play this out. But the fight, of course, the kill against Blaze and against Muradin, destroying the entire front line here. That was definitely pretty sexy. So yeah, nicely done. 2 of them fall. That allows them a 5 versus 3 situation on the map that they now use at the bot lane to take another tower down. And of course, the goal would be to destroy the keep too. If they can pull it off, that would be amazing, but it's a bit unlikely. So Abathur, he is going to have a target for his mule to be dropped, and he uses it immediately. But it doesn't change the fact that he, of course, has to now focus his attention on this one as well. And level 16 is ready. We have level 16 in the hands of the Raiders. So they have, for another half level, an advantage in any team fight that they might have to engage in against the opponent's team. And up to now, at least, they've been doing pretty well. And we have them now with the Giant Slammer. We got the spread volley and up the frequency. And down in the mines, the party is already starting. Yeah, they're already starting to go again for a couple of skulls. Actually, the red team is a bit ahead of them. There's a double camp at the top of the map, so if Blaze decides to go down and help out here, then that double camp might actually do some damage on the top side keep. Put even more pressure onto Abathur. And it seems like that's what we're going to get here, because, yep, there's still a Siege Giants, couple of Pumpkins, they will be destroyed, but there's a chance that they can take this wall down. Whereas Abathur has to mule this a bit more frequently if they really want to safeguard it. So they go for the boss already, and if you see the opponent's numbers rise on skulls, you know exactly where they are at this point. So the red team, again, eager for a fight after they just hit level 16 talents, so now they're drawing even. Big lead, 61 to 39 for the blue team, and they're trying to get away from this. Especially also since Abathur, of course, used his copy. So that's a cooldown burned, and they sacrificed very few ults. Pretty much nothing. So this is actually big. And indeed, at the top, part of the wall has now been destroyed. So, yep, very nicely done. Down to the bottom of the map, on the other hand, the golem is going to come in a moment. So yeah, we're gonna get that, and well, let's see what else they can now do. Because this is an opportunity to just use this golem at the top and try and take that keep down. And I have to remind you again, because there's no single fort that got destroyed yet on the side of the Raiders. So as the game continues, these catapults are also gonna hit harder and harder and harder. So that's another advantage that they have here. Oh no, flipped into the boss stun! Oh, Blaze! Hazu in real trouble. Trying to save this now. But with the help of Sylvanas, they can now push this so hard here. This is a real issue. Yeah, Sylvanas can empower this so much further. Okay, that's gonna be rough. This is gonna be really rough to hold. Imagine them losing a hero or two here. That might even spell out the end of game number 1 in the best of 5. Once again, the displacement is there. They're getting just punted all across the map. The fight starts. The boss on the way to the core. The stun hitting Rhaegar. Oh, the Ancestral still hitting home in time, but Muradin is gone. Muradin is gone, and now they go for the next kill. Dino is dropping a bit low too, and there's another one. So Dino is gone, now they can go for the core, and I think at this point it is pretty clear that they're going to come in and end the game right here. Another quick hit against Hazorps. He's also toast. That's 12 kills to 6. And they are looking great. The Raiders, ladies and gentlemen, taking the lead in this best of 5 series here at the grand final. Fantastic performance by them. Nicely done. And they lock in the W on Haunted Mines and pull ahead in the grand final of Meta Madness qualifier number 1. GG. Alright guys, we're jumping into the next match in just a second, but before we do that, you might be familiar with Holzcan, one of the sponsors that we have on the channel. Been working with them now for a couple of months and I'm a huge fan of their products. Now, you have some absolutely insane discounts currently on their website. Usually we already have a 15% discount, now they're going way beyond that, and you guys should definitely take advantage of that. Always assuming, of course, that you want to get either something for yourself or a loved one, or just are looking for additional Christmas presents. The cool thing is also that you're actually supporting the channel directly by just simply clicking the link in the description. So that's essentially all that you got to do there. And as I've already spoken about multiple times in the past, absolutely love their designs. I have multiple watches from them by now myself. I own a pair of sunglasses, shopped for those online too, which I usually really never do. But again, if you haven't checked them out, click the link in the description. It supports the stream, so even just taking the 2-3 seconds to click the link is already helpful. But as I said, I love their stuff, and if you haven't gotten all your Christmas presents yet, you should definitely take a look, because now with Black Friday and also Christmas, they have a few weeks where there are just incredible discounts and really good things if you haven't gotten anything for yourself yet. So with that, thank you very much, and we're going to jump into the next match. Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map, and we have the lead for the Raiders. Awesome! Very nicely done. Haunted Mines as a starting map, also kind of interesting. But the Raiders played it well, particularly Sylvanas gave them a lot of value, of course. And now on the second map of this best of 5, the Saboteurs have tried to bring it back, or will try to bring it back. They went for first pick, first ban, and we now have the choice, the map choice made by the Raiders. So they decided they want to play on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Chromie gets banned, so they're already targeting Nano here. And Hanzo is still up too, so I talked in the first draft a bit about the heroes that Nano is normally very comfortable with. Chromie, Hanzo, a couple of others as well. We just saw him on Junkrat, of course. But he would love to play either one of the two on this map right now. So we'll see what exactly he can do with that, or if he gets access to one of them, because there's still a chance that either the red team bans out Hanzo, or maybe they even pick the hero for themselves, so that's another one. And well, with this, we now have Vala banned as well. Yeah, Vala doesn't get any love in this series so far. Map number 2, of course. And, I mean, by definition, we're going to get a lot more heroes banned than in the previous matches. The best of 5 is going to make this insanely interesting. Hogger gets the axe, so that leaves Hanzo open as a potential first pick for the Saboteurs. But it could also be taken by the Raiders, depending on who prioritizes him higher. And it leaves us with another ban for the Raiders. I bet they are debating Karrigan, because they've seen Rutsu. As I said before, they could watch all of these games that already played out. So they banned Maiev instead, fulfilling a bit of a similar role. But Rutsu's Karrigan has worked wonders for the red team. So eventually he's going to either pick it or it has to be banned out. And they're starting with Benio and Johanna, adding the extra AoE in. Whereas for the blue team, that opens up a couple of opportunities now. One of that would be getting Hanzo for Nano if they want to. If they plan on playing him on a mage instead, they can also do that, of course. But there's definitely a couple of different options now available to them. And time will tell. There's Hanzo. Gia, yeah. Gia can obviously play him too. That's another good one, actually. Yeah, Gia, he switched accounts. He was playing on the account Simon before. But so he can play Hanzo as well. So they can always swap this over a bit. And we get Anduin as the support for them. So the Crybaby is in the house. And that leaves us with the next double pick on the side of the red team. So, what are we getting here? What is going to be the weapon of choice? Ooh, Tracer and Malfurion. We haven't seen as much Tracer today as I expected. We saw her banned a few times, but not played nearly as much as I thought she would be. So what we're getting instead now is Malfurion with the overheal for Tracer, and then Johanna to back this up. So not really the Triumvirate, the Holy Trinity of Tyrael, Tracer and Malfurion, but this is still a very solid option for them to get the damage through, and particularly to jump on heroes like Hanzo and try and take him out. So that's definitely going to be one of the priorities when we're talking about the attacks against the Raiders. Leo gets the axe. No additional wave clear for them on that account. And I'm still looking towards Nano here. There's a lot that they could still play. A mage would help with wave clear, of course, so you could do that. I've talked a bit about Gul'dan in some of the previous games because we saw him finally on Brax's holdout, but it's still something that could be taken here eventually too. Question is only, game number 2, are you already willing to bust Gul'dan out? Yes, no. And they need some added wave clear. Hanzo has good interrupt potential and nice vision around any of the turn-in points that he can always use throughout the entire game. You got Anduin here that can support you too, pull you out of a fight if you're going a little bit too deep. But you need also something to burn these minion waves down. It's a very small map and you need just proper AoE clear. They go for Rexa at the bot lane and they go for Johanna, so the bully team is in place. Good stuns, of course, too. But Nano, how does he bring this together? Sino Mephisto, Sino Cassia, Gul'dan is up. You can always swap Hanzo over to Nano and let Gia play someone. So, yeah, quite a bit. But either way, with that, the final 2 picks, Hazop still needs a hero and so does Rutsu. Karrigan still an option, of course, theoretically at least, after Maiev got banned out earlier. So he played, I believe, Karrigan a couple of times. And I love the Kel'Thas pick. Really big fan of Kel'Thas getting a bit more love there, particularly in the context of Meta Madness. Those Gravity Labs plays are always fun to watch. Malthael as well in the hands of Hazops, and that leaves us with the final pick for Nano. Can still go in the swap round and swaps things around a little bit. But what are we getting? What's the weapon of choice? Only the second map. Not a lot banned out. Only the 10 heroes that were played in game number 1 are not available anymore. Oh, and they go for Hammer. Alright. They go for Sergeant Hammer already. Guys, game number 2. 2 on the Spider Queen. The grand final continues here in the first qualifier for Meta Madness. Raiders against Saboteurs, game number 2 in the grand final in the best of 5 of qualifier number 1. On the left side, Nano with Sergeant Hammer, Sven playing Rexa. We get Gia on Hanzo, Hunter Orc on Anduin, and Johan is playing Diablo in this second game. They are in the lead. They have taken the victory in Haunted Mines. game number 1. We get the Flare for Rexa, and on the right side, the Saboteurs with Hazorps on Malthael, Dino on Tracer, Death Knight with Malfurion, Rutsu on Kel'Thas, and it is Bad Benny on Jojo. So, time to party. Let's see what they can do. We have on level 1 the target practice already for Hanzo, and Tracer immediately getting aggressive. Instantly starting to be aggressive here, while at the top lane Sergeant Hammer has taken position to do some structural damage from the start. So far that hasn't really worked all too well, but of course the real moment for Sergeant Hammer is when that level 7 talent finally kicks in and she gets some extra mobility and the siege tactics that allow her to just easily move back out of these fights. In the meantime, down at the bottom of the map, Rexa is taking position, Hazorps is going up against him. We have top side also more damage being done here with the stacks for Mana Addict slowly coming in. The goal, of course, for Kel'Thas is to complete this as quickly as possible. Gives him additional survivability that you're always looking for. So if you can roam the lanes and just double soak the regeneration globes, then you are in a great spot there. So, yeah. Particularly if you can hit it before level 10. I mean, that's really the dream, because at level 10, your opponent is by definition going to get some powerful abilities that, if they sync well, can easily lead to you being taken down. So if until then he gets his shield already back in, that would of course be the ideal scenario for them. In the meantime, what we're getting is both teams at the 1 minute mark starting to make a move for their own camp. So trying to get some of those on the way. Particularly on the left side right now, the blue team trying to draw even. And I gotta say, it's a little bit of an interesting dynamic to me, because you look at this series, and despite what happened in the winner bracket, you would still think, alright, the Saboteurs got this, right? Dainu, Hazu, I mean, look at this team. They're fully stacked. We saw them play in the loser bracket, one run after another. They were absolutely crushing it. So you come in here and you're thinking, yeah, they got this. Easy game. And then map number 1 happens, and all of a sudden the Raiders are ahead. And they were always a team, you know, that was just on the verge of breaking into the top 3, the top 4, and making their stand there. So you're asking yourself, is this it? Is this the tournament where they're now all of a sudden coming out and they are just absolutely dropping one enemy after another? And if they're able to win on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is essentially their map choice, they would have a 2-0 lead. Reverse sweeps are not impossible, but if the Saboteurs can pull that off, that's a very different question. So all eyes currently on the red team, at least from my perspective, because, yeah, I really want to see what they can do here right now. I really want to see what exactly they can actually do, if they can turn this around, or if it's not going to be possible for them. But up to now, 3 minutes in, we haven't seen a single kill yet. The teams are just trying to get some gems together. We have currently 27 in the hands of the Raiders. Both teams have already started to turn some of them in. Particularly the red team has done a decent job on that. And, well, up at the top now, it is time to chase the hammer. But Malfurion misses the route by a second. So, yeah, there's that. We now have in the middle, Johan starting to rotate over. Could try and interrupt again, but seems like Hazorps at least is going to deliver the few that he has. And with that now, we have the next attack coming in for Diablo. And of course, Rexa coming in together with Misha here from the side as they're looking for the kill against Hazorps, and they're nearly getting it. Hazo's in trouble and he goes down as Hanzo hammers the damage away. Comes in and starts to take the first kill. Yeah, first kill against Malthael. So Malthael is already gone, he is eliminated, and that gives them a bit more control as they are looking to turn in the gems that they have. Sergeant Hammer is doing that up at the top, and at the same time we're now having the next control happening already here. So yeah, things are actually looking pretty good for them. Level 7 talents are in, we got the Hava Siege mode now too, we got the Desperate Prayer in, we got the Internal Flames. Rutsu is also sitting tight here, of course still trying to complete his level 1 quest. He's at 11 stacks, so he still has a long way to go for it. With 30 gems turned in against 42, the blue team has a slight advantage right now. And with that, we are now looking at the first chance for the blue team. I mean, they have an opportunity here. If they just deliver another 8, then they're... Ooh, but that Dino... Ooh, he gets it through. They're all of a sudden closer. And they get it. No, the blue team gets it at the bot lane. Rexa used the opportunity in the space that was created to come in and take it on. So the blue team with the first Red Weaver wave, they got the first kill, and now they have the opportunity right there to go maybe for the first fort of the game. They were also insanely close to taking Rutsu out on Khaldor. If they got that kill, that would have been amazing for a first push. But now the Saboteurs are trying to defend as best as they can. They have a lot of cool tools, of course, that will make it a bit easier for them, particularly Khaldor, with all of the AoE spread that he can now get into the game too. The attack is coming. Down to the bottom of the map is currently Tracer going up against Rexa, trying to do the best there. And still pushing this out. The walls are falling, the towers are getting destroyed, the gates are also getting dropped one after another. So they're getting value. The question is just simply how much can they do? Because in an ideal world you want to take a fort down. It seems like this is actually happening at the top. So, nicely done. They take the top fort out, and down at the bottom of the map they got the entire wall, and they got a little bit more over here as well. Job well done. So far, so good. Boah. Yeah, it was so exciting that apparently... Oh, that went down the wrong pipe. Woof. Okay. But they got level 10. So they have a fort destroyed. They got the wall here too. That play got stuck in my throat. Yeah, this is actually looking pretty nice. Raiders are impressing here. Half a level of an advantage. One fort destroyed. Level 10 early. Not too many kills though, which is good for the Saboteurs because it essentially just means that they now are looking at a game in which they have a chance to use their gems to bring it slowly back. So there's definitely a big opportunity currently for them to get the turn in and then try and see if maybe they can build on that. So we'll see if they can pull that off. If they would lose a few of their heroes, of course, like if there's a chance for the blue team to get a couple of kills together, then that would change things very rapidly. If you can remove your opponent's gems and their ticket back into the game, so to say, then you find yourself in an even better spot, but not there yet by any means. Level 10 abilities on both sides. And we get the bubble, by the way. Anduin going for the word. All the words, best words. Everybody says so. So yeah, Anduin is going full bubble. I mean, given the composition that they are playing, they could have, I guess, used the light bomb engage with Diablo. We've seen that in the past. But if this is all about protect the hammer, then they can make that play. They just need to make sure that Anduin is really well positioned so that he can't be interrupted too quickly and that they're actually getting value out of that ult. So it's an interesting choice and it can be made, but we'll actually see how this is gonna work out for them. Now in the middle of the map, in the meantime, we have the team still pushing for the fort a bit. The web weavers are now coming down, so they're going to try and get some value out of their own objective. Whereas Sergeant Hammer down here with Napalm has already whittled some of the hit points away at the bottom fort and has done the same for the web weavers. Seems like these are not going to be able to do too much here. But the flank could become a problem, because Diablo's getting attacked now, so is Nano. And there's the bubble. Good positioning for Anduin, but outside of saving the heroes, there's not really much more that they could accomplish in that spot. It seems to be... I mean, honestly, this seems like there's not going to be a chance for the red team to draw even in structures and take a fort down. Unless they get some kills here. But Anduin is ready again, pulls the target away immediately, and so far, so good. So, up towards the top, Sven currently doing his thing. Moving back out, we have here in the bot lane still the attempt to make a move. 53 gems have been turned in by the blue team, and that means that if they are now just dropping another 2, they will have another web weaver wave and could potentially build on those structures that are already destroyed. Arrow out by Hanzo, trying to get a kill here. Tranquility used to, and there's the turn in. Nobody cared about the top turn at this point, so it is actually happening. Well done. And with that, now the chance to go for another fort. So structurally this is pretty nice, but it's impressive that 9 minutes into the game we still haven't seen more than a single kill. I mean, it's kind of crazy. We are 9 minutes into the game. 1 kill has happened. That's all that has been going on right now. So with that, we're now looking at Rexa still at the top, trying to push this out in the middle of the map. They're going for it too. And this is starting to look pretty okay, honestly. Because if they can get Sergeant Hammer into a good position behind the web weavers and maybe a tank or 2, they should be able to push at least for 1 fort. But they're only focusing on the bot lane right now. Sergeant Hammer is still sitting in the middle. There's some attack already going on there, and they're still aiming to drop Rexa, who has completed his level 4 quest, by the way. But, oh, Anduin with a save, at least for now, Sven! And he gets away. Sven gets out. Clutch play. Top web weavers are doing damage at the wall of the keep already. Big arrow from Hanzo, and there's the kill. Hanzo with the big arrow, the kill is in, Hanzo ops dies too, 2 heroes eliminated, a lot of gems on the ground. I think he lost 33 right now. 33 gems lost, they go for another kill. Oh my god, the Raiders! The Raiders with the big plays, and the team around Hanzops and Dino is in serious trouble as they're suffering even more damage up at the top lane. Look at that keep, they might even lose the entire thing. I think they can barely save it. They can barely save it, but with the boss now about to be claimed at the top, there is absolutely no chance that they can hold on to it. The question is more so, are the Raiders willing to go even for core? Which I honestly doubt a bit, given that they are both on the same talent right now. Both teams are on level 13. So, yeah, let's see what we're getting with this. But, damn. That was such a flip. 10 minutes in, single kill, 1 kill. And then it's really just like 3 kills in a row. Bam! 33 gems lost. They don't even have enough gems for a second turn in. I mean, just to put this in perspective, the Raiders are getting closer and closer now to getting a 3rd turn in, whereas the Saboteurs lost so many gems that they cannot even afford a second. That's where we're at now. The top keep has been destroyed. And now at the top, we have still the move trying to go for the keep. Sorry, for the core a little bit. Scratching the shield slightly. Not doing too much here, but with the level 16 talents now, of course, there's the chance for the Raiders to maybe get a bit more aggressive around this. So yeah, let's see if they're actually going to be able to do anything about this here. Sven, he's turning in. That's 17 gems that they now deliver, and with Nano delivering the rest, they get another Web Weaver wave. And here is really where they have to drop the hammer. Now you want to make sure that you're getting real damage done. Either propel it towards the core or take another keep down. They got to do something. Because after the red team gets level 16 as well, this is going to be a battle with even talents for a while. And you don't want to end up in one of these situations where your opponent 6.5 out of 10s you. We've seen way too many of those. Way too many of them. Either way, for now, we have them with Web Weavers coming in. Particularly the bot lane is a real problem right now, since the Web Weavers are spawning next to Siege Giants right at the keep. Even the wall has already been destroyed previously. And in the middle, they're trying to do the exact same thing now. 1 keep is going down. I mean, it would be really surprising if they could save all of them. The arrow from Hanzo is there. They go for Malfurion, and the old guy is dead. Within a second, he's just dead. Barbecue play from Diablo. Now they go for the keep in the middle. They're trying to take this one out as well. Bot lane, of course, gets pressured even more. This is looking fantastic for the Raiders. 2-0 lead for the Raiders is definitely possible at this point. It's definitely possible. So we'll see if they can pull this off. They've destroyed every single keep and can now siege up with Sergeant Hammer, who's sitting at 125,000 siege damage. In addition to that, we are sitting at 40,000 hero damage for the auto attacker, and this just looks amazing. And they play it safe. They play it really safe right now. They move back for now and just take it slow. They know that those catapults are going to continue pressuring. They know that it's going to become a big problem eventually, even if the red team is able to turn in again. And they're waiting, very patiently for an opportunity. If they YOLO at the core and they get destroyed there, there's a big chance for the red team to bring it back. So they're trying to limit that. But they're chasing. They gotta chase. They don't want to wait for level 20 for a very good reason. Misha gets attacked, but you can see on the minimap how every single lane is now pushing against them. Every single one. And those catapults, now that we're 14 minutes in, they are gonna start to hurt. They're not too crazy yet, but if you are forced into a fight in the middle of the map and you have 3 lanes pressuring against you, that core dies faster than you'd believe. So currently, get some gems, turn them in, go for the minion camp, see if you can get a kill somewhere, and try, from the perspective of the Raiders, to deny the turn into your opponent. So, yep, there we go again. with that, we have, again, Tracer starting to make a play, slow them down a little bit. Ando in real trouble. Last rights, and denies it. Denies it with a bubble. He dies eventually, but they denied the last rights kill, and they also were able to take out Malthael. Malthael is gone. More poke damage from Hanzo. And this is just trouble because time is working in favor of the blue team. They're half a level away from level 20 and there's more camps on the map that they can claim to, putting even more pressure onto all these lanes, which is exactly what we're currently seeing from them here. So they're looking fantastic. They're looking awesome. This is getting better and better for them. 6 kills to 1. It's actually kind of amazing when you think about it. Anduin dying was the first kill that the Saboteurs got. Literally the first kill so far. So, yeah, nicely done. Down to the bottom of the map, we still have the Siege Giants pushing. We also have the Catapult here. The red team is desperately trying to force a fight before level 20 and tries to get something out of this. They don't want to go up against Storm Talons. I definitely don't blame them. But the Raiders, they're too experienced to let that happen. They play, they're slow, and they just take it easy. So, yeah. Level 20 is in, they got their Storm Talents, and they immediately burned down Johanna, who held 34 gems, all of them lost now. They don't even have, well, they barely have enough to turn in, but now if they're also losing another hero, then of course that is going down as well. The core gets attacked, the shield is slowly disappearing. With Harzobs dying on Malthael again, you all know where this is going. The core will fall, catapults are already on it. The chase at the top is continuing with Misha getting another stun through against Khaldor. They're trying a miracle. They're hoping for a miracle and they can't get it. Barbecue plays, they buy some time, they got the bubble out, the core is already falling, the catapults are doing everything they can to end this quickly. And, well, there's that. 60% on it, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game number 2. What an amazing performance by the Raiders in this grand final, taking a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 against the Saboteurs with a victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen. GG. Well, we're headed for Cursed Hollow. 2-0, everybody. Here we are. The Raiders have taken a big lead over the Saboteurs. And I'm amazed. They play well. It was a very... It reminded me a little bit of HGC. Not necessarily in every single aspect of the game, but when you looked at the HGC games, what we had oftentimes were both teams taking it very easy at the beginning, and, you know, everybody tried to play it as close to their chest as they possibly could, and that's kind of what we got. 9 minutes in, it was a single kill, and then at some point, it just absolutely exploded. So, yeah, it was pretty fun to see that, and the Raiders just flipped the game within one team fight. It was pretty awesome. Now, we are heading into the third map. That means 20 heroes are now unavailable. So we have seen 20 heroes played in total and they cannot be picked again. But we still have plenty to go around. The question is more so what exactly can the Saboteurs do now? And also, do they still have the... I'm not quite sure if I want to call it mental strength, but keep in mind they've been playing for a while here already. So at this point, we are looking at a situation where they also have to really believe that they can make a reverse sweep happen, right? We've seen that in the past. We've seen multiple reverse sweeps, but it's always tricky to dig that deep. And it's easy to say, like, guys, second place is great. Winner doesn't auto-qualify for Meta Madness either. It's all about points. Yeah, we've been here for a while. So it makes it difficult. I'm not saying they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. But if that nagging voice is in the back of your head, it could happen. So, yeah. But again, I'm always theorizing a little bit there. Now we get Cursed Hollow. That's, for me personally, always a nice map. Tyrael is banned. Falstad is banned. Those were two great heroes for the map, of course. And we could also see Kerrigan again. I personally expect to see Kerrigan. Because Kerrigan was a little bit the... saving grace might be the wrong word, but it was just one of those options for the Saboteurs when they needed to be a bit more risky, when they really wanted to just like drive the game, when they wanted to be the ones, you know, to come in and take things down. That's exactly what they really currently need. They need somebody to step up for the team. They need somebody to drive the game, to initiate attacks. And if they can now build a composition around Kerrigan again with additional stuns, that might be the opportunity for Rutzo to do that once more. So, yeah. But okay, we have the blue team with their first double pick. And I'm intrigued. I want to see what the Raiders are doing. Cassia and Li Ming. Whoa. Right from the get-go, bam! Instantly, both damage dealers. Okay. Both damage dealers right from the get-go. And those are two really good ones too. I mean, who else is left? I believe Vala is still up, right? Vala got banned but not played, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think we have actually seen her in the game. So that's a really good one that they could pick now. And which they might actually pick. Well, first we're getting Jaina. Looking for a bit of burst damage here. So that's the first one. And what else are we going to get for our girl here? Is it going to be full... Is the Force female for the Saboteurs today? Are they going to add an auto attacker or Vala's caliber to Jaina's burst damage? I wouldn't say no. But she could be banned now. I actually think this is likely one of the things that they're currently debating. Ban Vala, yes, no, and they ban Greymane instead. Okay, so they don't want to deal with Greymane. They're happy or willing at least to deal with Vala. And that results in the last ban now, this time for the Saboteurs. They can of course ban the side laner now out. And it's already starting to get interesting here. With 20 heroes off the board, it already starts to get interesting. So what exactly are they getting rid of here? Main tank, side lane, what's the target? It's game 3, right? So they get rid of ETC. You still have a couple of comps around Zarya as well that you could technically get, but they go for Nubarak immediately. Urel, I believe, is up, right? So you could go... Oh! Against Hazu, they dropped the Vikings. They're going in there like, old man, we're going to show you how it's done. Your time's over. It is GG for you. We're going to show you how you really play the Vikings. RTS background, my ass. This is how you really do it. Move over, old schooler. See you later, boomer. Here's the new generation, and we're going to show you how this is really going to be played. That's something. Here comes Varian. Varian Jaina. So again with the engage and the lock. And Zeratul. Nice. Love it. Zeratul against the Vikings now. Me likey. Zeratul with Varian and Jaina. They could even go for some wombos. And we get Whitemane as the support. Awesome. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Cursed Hollow. Game 3 in the grand final of the first qualifier. Let's go. Match point. Match point number 1. On the left, we get Johan on Nubarak. We got Sven on the Vikings. Handog on Whitemane. G on Li Ming. And Nano on Cassia. Let's go. Can they make this a 3-0? Against a team as strong and fully stacked like the Saboteurs? That is the big question now. On the right side, we got Hazops on the Haka, Dino on Jaina, Bad Benny on Varian, Death Knight on Brightwing, and Rutsu is playing Zeratul. I like Zeratul. I really like him. Zeratul also got really well through the pandemic, by the way. I mean, the guy has traditionally a mask in front of his face, so he had absolutely no problems there. It was not an issue whatsoever. Easy peasy for him. He couldn't understand all the fuss, honestly. I mean, either his face is behind the helmet or behind the mask, but whatever it is, he's doing well, and he has Shadowhunter as his level 1 talent. So they're going for the aggressive setup with 4 heroes, while the Vikings are trying to push the lanes out and do their job there. In the meantime, down at the bottom of the map, a little bit of wave clear happening from Rutsu already. And all the way up to the top side, this is where the party is really starting up with Dehaka. So they got a global at least. But I gotta admit, I kinda like this. We got Whitemane, Peter the Frail is already here, and over on the right side is also Jaina now trying to get some extra hits in for the baseline. Want to get that ice block as soon as possible to add some survivability to all of this. But yeah, the attacks are now happening. They're coming in again, trying to push Bad Benny back, who's playing one of his favorites. But look at that wall in the middle. That one is already fairly low. Now Eric gets taken out, but this entire wall has now been destroyed. So this is the beauty of having the Vikings in play, because you can focus with an entire 4-man on the lane, on one lane, and the Vikings are soaking the rest. Now they're going to lose out on these lanes, obviously. They're not going to be able to do too much there, but still, as we are looking at all of this, it's still a pretty impressive lineup that we're seeing, and yeah, they're doing well. I mean, Vikings have not lost too much, particularly at the top. They haven't lost anything against Hazu where they are double teaming him. With only Eric at the bottom of the map, things are a little bit more difficult, particularly with Rutsu, of course, trying to push this one out. But just generally a small advantage when it comes to structures for the blue team now. But in experience, we have them more or less dead even. By now, it's also Taunt as the level 4 choice for Varian. No surprises there, of course. In addition to that, we now have camps claimed, so they're starting to get those one after another here. Both teams already with a mercenary camp that they have straight in, sent into the middle. And with level 4 talents, we now get Martyrdom, we have Dominance, and we get the Inner Light. With another Siege Giant camp about to be taken, and the Vikings still pushing this. Objectives announced any second. First one, first tribute. There it is. And now they can try and play the macro aspect of the map a bit further than that even. So, let's go. Let's see what they can pull off. Can they really make this a 3-0? I'm already amazed that they made it a 2-0. That they won 2 maps in a row here, and particularly the way that they did it. The second map was just so well executed, the plays that they made there. But now Value at the bottom of the map, Eric alone as a Viking just has nothing that he can send against the Hawkeye. It's just not a fair fight. He's not going to be able to win this in any way, shape or form. So what we're seeing instead is now the battle at the top. Eric even dying down at the bottom of the map, so nicely done. Balog is in the middle. And over here, oh, they blocked the path. But the interrupt still happens. They nearly got it there. Balog got so close. Well, actually, Olaf, sorry. But now Li Ming is down, Zeratul is down, Dino gets out of the fight. And it is Sven again with the channel. So, yeah, the Haka wants to interrupt and has to back off. So the first tribute goes over to the Raiders. Really interesting fight, though. Li Ming falling, Zeratul a second later, and Dino barely making it out of the battle. It was so close. It actually looked like Jaina would die too, but now they're chasing again. And they really, really want Nano. And guess what? Taunt is back up in 2 seconds. But Benny isn't close enough. Can he slow? And yeah, there's the taunt. But Li Ming is back too. And they might have chased this too much. They chased too much. Here's the kill against Benny. And now it's Jaina that's on the menu. They kill both. They kill the Haka. Oh boy, that is a bit too much with Brightwing also getting murdered. Yes, Whitemane falls to Zeratul, but there's another tribute already coming up. We have the Vikings still pushing, and boy, did that hurt. Oh! They want Zeratul, and they get Zeratul. Holy hell, what a game. What a game. That is actually crazy. Yeah, that fight, they just chased it too hard. And then Li Ming came back. 3 kills in total, and of course the fight just continued from there. Now we have them with a half-level lead, 6 kills to 3. And what's more important, it's 2 tributes to 0. 2 tributes to 0 at this point, so they are just looking stellar on the objective. They can force this over and over again, particularly if they're able to pull this off with level 10. That would of course be amazing here. Nubarak, by the way, going into full plating. So comes in with the Rubian armor, the exoskeleton, and the plating on level 7. What a game already. I mean, the Saboteurs, they've fallen behind in kills, but they're still doing a decent job trying to keep the experience in range. They're not falling behind too much here. By any means. So now it's of course a couple of camps that have to be taken again. We don't have fully stacked Zeratul level 1 just yet, but here comes the heroic ability. And the tribute position is really good for the Raiders. That one is really good. Yeah, if they can get a curse now, boy, they could start to snowball this a bit. And the Vikings are of course going to try to make exactly that happen. So, can they? This is the big question. They can start to move in here already. Starting to come in for the tribute and claim that. In the meantime, we're now looking at Johan over here. Another big dive is coming. And of course, they are all trying to chase back the Vikings so that they don't sneak the curse in. It's all about position right now. And talking Vikings, we still have some at the top. So the ult can of course be used to get everybody down to the bottom of the map and get the damage out here. But time is really working in their favor because Balog can take more structures down up at the top and do his best to get further ahead with them. And the red team is forced into this fight. They are. But they are getting the tribute. They're actually zoning them out very nicely and creates tons of space here. So that was extremely well done and nets them a tribute that allows them to keep the curse at bay for a bit longer. And it didn't even take too much time for them to get into this position. So Balog couldn't capitalize at the top lane too much about it. Now, of course, he still does damage and they destroyed nearly the entire wall. But this could have been so much worse if he would have had more time to maybe even attack the fort itself, which they had to let go, essentially. Down at the bottom, another wall is about to fall. And the cocoon on Jaina. They're trying to force the fight here. Zeratul is coming, and I guess they gotta retreat now. Gotta retreat, or they gotta get a few more euros in here. Nice ult also from Cassia, forcing them back a bit again. And the quest completed now for Zeratul. So, Vikings still pushing. Vikings still getting them a bit of a lead. And Uburak also experienced some pain problems at the bottom of the map, with Benny getting close to taunting him again. That could have been a problem, but yeah, he got out of range just in time. And Zeratul is still Viking hunting. Zeratul is still roaming the map looking for Vikings that he can take down, but hasn't really gotten any so far. Olaf gets killed, and more importantly, Jaina actually completes the quest. So Jaina is now done with the baseline quest, which means that we're getting Ice Block. And thanks to that, they are, of course, going to be able to keep her alive a bit longer. Both teams with 2 tributes, so the next one is going to determine which team gets the first curse. Balog gets taken. Yeah, once they're at level 16, the Vikings are, of course, going to have a much bigger impact in all of this. By now, they are still forcing the back. Zeratul isn't here, so that would have been a potentially disastrous fight for the Saboteurs. On the damage numbers, we now have 20,000 for Jaina, 24,000 for Cassia. They get a stun, and... oh my god! Rutsu nearly dying, and he's not going to make it. Balog is gone, but so is Zeratul. They're going to kill him right here, right now. No chance for him. Goodbye, my friend. That cocoon was just too good. And this is cursed. This should be cursed. It has to be cursed. I mean, what else would it be? They just lost Zeratul. He's back in 20 seconds. Alright, my bad. He's actually back in 20 seconds, and they're making a decent move here, trying to go for a sneaky boss, which isn't sniffed out either. So it's gonna be a curse, true, but they are also getting the boss. And the blue team, I guess they're realizing, or they will realize very quickly, it's happening at the bottom of the map. So they haven't gotten the one at the top yet. But yes, so it's gonna be a curse against the boss defense, very likely. The question is just simply how much can they do with that. So this is going to get interesting. That was a real cool move by the red team. Very nice call, nicely done. They brought it back here, and this will result in damage down at the bottom of the map. But the question is just simply how much more can the Raiders do? Now, there's 2 aspects to it. One is the defense against the boss, and the other one is how much damage they can do themselves. They already destroyed 1 fort at the top, and they're actually trying to dive in on the camp. Missing out on it, though. Baron is still here. But I don't think it's going to be a problem for them. In the middle of the map, that's a different story, because, well, here's already some Viking action going strong. Zeratul is dealing with the top. The bottom fort has been destroyed by the boss. That boss is going to drop at the wall. But they want, I believe, at least another fort in the middle. And with 20 seconds left on the curse, there's no reason why they wouldn't be able to get it. So they're coming in, taking this one. Or at least they should. But the team fight is spiraling out of control quickly. No level 16 talents yet. That would empower the Vikings further. I can't wait for them to have Largen in charge for Olaf and see how much they can actually do against that backline, particularly against Zeratul. He's not going to like that at all. So the curse is a little bit weird because I mean, essentially they just traded forts. It was a curse against the boss. That's what kind of happened there. So a very nice move essentially the beginning from the Saboteurs, and now them trying to go for Jaina. Really good juking from Dainu. But I suppose that fort gets finally destroyed? No, still no. They're still going for the fight, and Nano is low. Nano is really low. Is trying to get a kill together with Li Ming, and it doesn't happen. So instead, they're losing Cassia. They went a bit too deep here. They tried to be too cute, and now Gia dies as well. 7 kills to 7, and they take down White Mage too. I have no idea why Johan has a death wish here. I mean, we can't... why? Why? Like, why? Was that really necessary? Why die like this? He buys time for the Vikings, guys. He buys time for the real heroes of the game, for the Vikings, who are now coming in and take all that out. But yeah, that was a bit of a Sudoku move that I don't really think was necessary. Both teams have now level 16, but yeah. Let's see. Time will tell how much further they can go here, but it's definitely now the red team that has all of a sudden taken control of this game. Not only because they took some additional forts out, but also because they're doing really well. We're actually getting debilitation on level 16 now, so they must be really worried about Jaina in particular. Not my favorite talent. Love the stun setup usually, but again, if you're going for some decent stuns against her and can shut her down quickly in those fights, she is currently the biggest damage source by far, 31,000 for her, and they take another boss as well. So the Saboteurs, they are finding finally a bit of a rhythm here. That's something that they've been missing previously. Nearly stunned out. There's another tribute spawning, and I got bad news for the Raiders, because there's still 2 tributes in the hands of the Saboteur, so meaning you gotta react to this or you're gonna get cursed as well. So they need to send somebody down. That boss is quickly defeated, so good news on that end at least. But if they want to fight for the tribute, they gotta go for it, and it seems like they're just gonna let it go. And it seems like they're fine being cursed. Yeah? Nobody's interrupting this. They don't even try. They're just accepting it. They're accepting that they have overextended themselves a bit earlier, that they now need to suffer through those motions, and then later we might see them recover again. But they're now a level behind, they're cursed, they're going to lose more structures. Yeah, this is looking worse and worse by the second. They need a teamfight victory, and they should try and get that fight before level 20 talents are available. But this is now getting really difficult. At least the Vikings at the top are still pushing this a bit, so they're protecting the top fort. I think it's still going to fall, but as long as they're not getting pushed on every single lane right now, that's at least a silver lining on the horizon. Eric, Slingshot Eric trying to take Zeratul down. Still falls. Would have been nice if you could have baited him into an Anubarak stun and a sure death. That would have been at least funny. But yeah. They're actually not losing too much, I gotta admit. They're doing extremely well on defense. Now, the map is, of course, pushed against them. They are not going to be able to avoid that. But kudos to them. They are still able to do some decent work here. My concern is really that gap in experience and level 20 that will be reached eventually. Now, even the fort at the top has not been destroyed. They haven't lost a single structure. There is a boss up on the map. And as I said before, I think that the team needs to force a fight. Anubarak trying to get out here. Well done. But he's also very low, so even with the heals from Whitemane, I'm not sure if they can re-engage into that battle. The Vikings are continuing to try and close that gap in experience, but the problem is still the same. Once that level 20 hits for the Saboteurs, they're gonna have a great spot here. And these bosses up on the map are a thorn in the side of the blue team. So for the Saboteurs, this is a really big opportunity. Play this out a bit more aggressively, take a good stance here, get level 20, deny vision even further, and then play around your advantages again. But defense was well executed. Oh, he misses the stun. He gets one. Anubarak still in trouble. Johan! And he's still alive. They go for Jaina. Large in charge was used here too. Vikings aren't quite there yet, at least not all of them. They're dodging out on Li Ming's damage, but the boss has been activated as well, so that's another problem. While all of this happens, the top gets pressured, and this keep is exposed. Olaf is also starting to really close the experience gap. This is not nearly as bad anymore as it initially was. It was pretty much an entire level that the Saboteurs were ahead. But thanks to Olaf doing work, he is able to close it. And he even survives at the top. He doesn't even get killed there. Balog, actually, sorry, I keep calling him Olaf. So yeah, Balog, of course. Olaf down at the bottom of the map, he got killed. He's down. And now they're trying to go for the boss. That is a small gap, though. Ooh, that is a really small gap, and you have Vikings getting experience for the other team. Particularly since the Haka isn't even here yet. Okay, he's coming now with Global. I guess they're gonna accept this boss as well. Yeah, they're not going for it. Or are they? They have level 20 now. Okay, they're letting it slide. They know that the opponent was just waiting for them to engage. So they're likely going to lose the keep. They're still losing more and more and more on the map, but they're also still able to pressure the top a little bit, as you can see here. The Vikings have gone for Fury of the Storm. We now have also the Scarlet Crusade. And it's kind of crazy how much patience they have. The Raiders with lots and lots of patience right now. And a chance to go for that keep. So yes, the keep at the bottom of the map is gonna fall, but if there's no kills for the Saboteurs, they can't go for core. That's the big one. Unless they get kills, they cannot go for the core. Nice route. Follow-up isn't there, though, and the keep falls. Keep is getting destroyed. Boss gets eliminated. Up at the top. Balog still doing work. Balog still taking it. And now there's a catapult coming in. In addition to the catapult, we also have some siege giants. So they have to send somebody back. It's likely going to be the Hawk guy again. Yeah, he's hearthing. But catapult is doing some extra damage. This is really becoming a huge problem for them. And they have to address it. So they're doing that right now. But in the meantime, there's a tribute. And now we're talking about the top boss. And they can go into a much better position for this one. But of course, at the bottom of the map, it's a similar situation to what the Saboteurs are facing at the top lane. There's still a fort ready for the red team, so continuous catapults are now going to be dropped. And everybody is just looking at that last potential team fight. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. If, for example, the Raiders come in and they take 4 heroes out, they can easily go through the top lane and go for the core. That keep is at 50% HP, there's nothing else left there. For the red team, it's even easier, since there's nothing at the bottom of the map at all. But there is a lot going on the map now. I love Cursed Hollow, I absolutely do. And this is match point. Gotta remind people again, this is actually match point here. So everybody is looking for an opportunity, everybody is looking for an engage. Johan is sitting there at the side. Is he gonna dive in? Yeah, but he doesn't hit anything. Nothing. Oh boy, how shitty was that? It's not even his fault. They went for a blind attack. They honestly thought that they got a chance there to do something. It wasn't a bad choice. It just didn't play out for them. But that really hurts. If he hits Jaina, it's a totally different situation. But now they're losing a Nubarak and it might have lost them the game. They took a risk and it backfired. I mean, check it out here. If he hits Jaina, it's a blind one. They don't have vision there, I think. And if they hit anything, they got a chance. They took a risk, it backfired, and now they're paying the price, of course. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now, I would have loved a real cool big team fight between the teams to end this, but it seems like it is this missed engage by Nubarak that is going to decide the fate of game number 3. Looks like the Saboteurs are bringing it back. And Nubarak back in 8, but he's too late to the party. 12 kills, 2-7, and we have a game on our hands. With Whitemane falling, the core will be next, and the Saboteurs put the first point onto the scoreboard. GG, well played. Shire, map number 4. 30 heroes are banned at this point. 30 heroes have been played and they will not be played again in this grand final. So it seems that the Saboteurs are not done with this series just yet, so they believe in their chance to go for the big reverse sweep. And they take down the blue team on map 3. Get the victory on Cursed Hollow, and Nubarak diving a little bit into, well, yeah, bumfuck nowhere. Not hitting anything, irgendwo nirgendwo. And the poor guy just, yeah, got murdered within half a second or something. So it was pretty crazy. Kind of unfortunate for him, honestly, when we're talking about it, because at the end of the day, if in this situation they would have been able to come in and maybe get a hit, then there's a big chance that they could have gotten a kill, could have followed up on it or anything like that. But it wasn't meant to be, it seems, and so they lost the game. Was nicely played out also by the Saboteurs, of course, and the deserved reward is them fighting in game number 4 to bring this to game number 5. Now, immediately we get Maiev banned again. Shire as a map, of course, demands a lot of control, and with first pick, first ban claimed by the Raiders, it also means that we have now the map choice done by the team in red. So, yeah, there it is. But yeah, I'm a little bit curious what exactly we're getting. I mean, even Rexer was already played, and this is a hero that I could have absolutely seen on Shire by them. I have my eye a little bit on Samuro, if I'm honest, because Sven has been playing Samuro, I believe, in the first day of the qualifier. And it wouldn't shock me if they're trying to bust him out again and get some value out of him. So, time will tell if that's going to happen. But, yeah, Samuro is definitely an option for Sven. Chen, another one, by the way. So there's a couple of choices as now slowly the hero pool is being thinned out. And all of that could happen. Oh, come on, really? Why? Oh, they don't like fun. They just don't like fun. The Saboteurs, they are sabotaging our entertainment. That's what they're doing here. That's where the team name comes from. Unacceptable. Samuro gets banned. It's a sad moment. I was already excited. And what do we get instead as our first pick? It is Chromie for Nano. I was really starting to hype myself up for a Samuro pick here. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna get the man with the big blade, Blade Master style, let's go. And then they're just coming in and they're going, nope, not happening. So, yeah, unfortunate for us, that's not gonna be a thing. But we still get Chromie. And there's Kerrigan and Uther. Yeah, why am I not really surprised? I called Kerrigan already earlier. It was only a matter of time when she's getting played. But what else are you going to ban? Are you going to ban Maiev? Are you going to ban Kerrigan? You got to ban one of the two. Now that they have Uther as well, it means that we have again the Divine Shield available for her. It's all about shutting down Rutsu. That's what you got to do now. Shut down Rutsu best way you can. Question is just how. Yrel in the house, and we get Ana. Okay, so Nano boosted Chromie is in, and I like Yrel as a pick a lot too. I talked about her a bit earlier. If you can avoid getting stun locked completely, then you are really the one that can create a bit of space for the rest of your team. Keep Kerrigan at bay, push her back a bit, and just generally ruin the plans of the Saboteurs here. But okay, bans, they're getting rid of Mal'Ganis. I could see a Chen even as a main tank. Koreans have played Chen, Capybara has, Max Passion usually does on the European side, but other teams have now followed up with that too. Go for the barrel, baby. But what are they going to get rid of against Bad Benny's boys? They have played Arthas before. Just saying. Arthas Kerrigan is a bit old school. Back in the day. Back in the day. Alpha, Beta, you know? When we had Arthas and Kerrigan with Envenom, I think it was a level 4 talent. Level 4 or level 7, I can't remember. But both of them had it. And if you played Arthas and Kerrigan, you would just run around with the two of them, just try and slow people down, stun them, and then drop a double Envenom on it. It would stack it and you could just kill pretty much everybody. So it was one of those comps that if you didn't deny it to the opponent, it was more or less nearly a win. So it was a bit bonkers. But they are getting rid of Zagara. Oh, Stitches. Stitches Leoric. Ooh. Hook stuns. Oh boy, this is looking nasty. This is looking really nasty. I mean, I like it for the Saboteurs, but I'm not sure if the Raiders are going to enjoy this. This is going to be really difficult to play against. I mean, really difficult. You get the hook, you get the stun, Kerrigan follows up, Leo, Drain, and Tomb slows. That control is crazy. They go for Arthas, they are the one. Arthas, Yrel at the front, and we get the birdie. Falstead is here too. Alright, this is getting really interesting. I'm terrified of what I'm seeing on the red team side. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a terrifying composition that they have here. Insanely powerful, and I don't envy the blue team at all. But there's Lunara. She's going to be the range damage dealer for them. Guys, game number 4. Dragonshire is the map. Let's go. Let's see who takes it. Is it going to be a victory for the Raiders? Are the Saboteurs bringing this back, forcing game number 5? We're going to find out right now on Dragonshire. Game number 4. We are on Dragonshire with the Raiders in the lead. 2-1 in their favor, so it's the second match point for the blue team. Them starting over on the left side with Gia on Falstad, Nano on Chromie, Hunter Orc with Ana, and a grenade build with Johan. Playing Arthas, and we get Sven on Yrel. As the red team is going in with a super annoying combo. I mean, Hazorps on Leoric, Bad Benny on Stitches. We get Dino on Lunara, Rutsu on Kerrigan, and Uther played by Death Knight. Stun, 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 slow, 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 and a couple of hooks as well. So things are looking pretty alright for them, I'd say. At least they have a really annoying comp to play against. It's not necessarily guaranteed that they're going to win this game, obviously. But if you have to dodge hooks the entire time, Kerrigan combos, Entombs, Lunara slowing you down and getting the damage in, it's not going to be a fun game to play unless Chromie is able to, from afar, just shell the shit out of them and get a couple of kills together here. So this is pretty much the question. We'll see if they can do any of this, but it's going to be very interesting. I wouldn't put it past the blue team. I really wouldn't. They have been playing so well previously that I think there's definitely a chance that they're controlling this game. I'm just saying that there are a lot of opportunities to bring it back at any point in time for the Saboteurs with just a good hook, a good carrigan combo, or even just a generic stun chain with a couple of slows. So there's a lot that could happen there. Now, you have, of course, also the global in play. So Falstad, if they are somehow able to play around that, would be nice. But talking stun chains, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So Urel at the top gets caught and has no chance. That allows the blue team at least to take their own camp down here in peace. But, of course, first blood now for the Saboteurs. And Arthas is the one that had to rotate towards the top side in order to deal with that. So, yeah, these stuns are going to become a problem. They're really going to become a problem, and they have to deal with it somehow. The question is always, how are they going to be trying to pull that off? That's essentially the question. But, yeah. For now, we'll still have to see. It's going to be a bit of a slow approach, I'd assume. But at level 13, when Stitches gets his extension on the hooks, then it's going to get even more tricky. So, yeah. Because the hook could come out of nowhere. You get the Bermuda Triangle over here. So if you hit a couple of hooks, if you have a Wisp, for example, sitting somewhere that can give you some vision for a target, then you're already in a good spot there. Now it's maybe even a chance to go for a first Dragonite, but it gets denied at the top lane as Falstad takes control. Stitches is trying, yeah, exactly as expected. So he's starting to move in for that. But they are getting something out of this. I mean, they start to take over the top lane. They can take the camp out, and Hazorps is currently all alone, so he won't be able to do too much here. Middle of the map, it's a different story, though, because there's still Johan sitting tight. He gets stacks together for his level 1. Chromie by now with Möbius Loop after she went into deep breathing as her level 1 choice and is stacking that up slowly. Playtime for Stitches. He's getting some at least. And we got the Paralyzing Rage now, too. They try for Leo, but they can't get him. And here comes Stitches. And they're slowing Anna down. And yeah, good luck getting her out of the fight. That's just not going to be a thing. If Anna is this deep and she gets flanked, she's not going to escape. Granny, she's not the youngest anymore, you know? She's getting pretty old here. I don't want to be ageist or anything. Actually, I don't care. So yeah, she's old as shit. So once that she's getting caught, she is just trying to hobble her way out of the battle, but that's not happening. If you get her into the back line and full-on sniper fire, that's a different story, but in the middle of the battle, she's more useless than Anduin. So 2 kills to 0 for the Saboteurs, and well, with that, now they're going straight for the middle forward. They have level 7, so there's a talent advantage, there's a kill advantage, they get the first objective. Dragonite is in as well, and this is... yeah. Bit of a problem, particularly with Urel falling at the top again. Got chained down once more. I mean, maybe she likes it, I don't know, but there's so many stuns and that CC chain is hitting, and it's hitting hard. 3 kills to 0 now. The Saboteurs, again, the draft already made it pretty clear. The draft alone already showcased right from the beginning, okay, this is looking good for them. And unless the blue team can start to gain a bit of momentum and get a foothold in this game, they are going to run into massive problems. So yeah, not sure exactly what they can now try to pull off here, but they need something to turn this around. Level 10 abilities might change the dynamic here. They need some synergies for sure. If their nano boosted Chromie is able to get them a kill or two, maybe against Lunara or against somebody else, then it starts the fight off with a completely different situation. But as is, they are just sitting there and getting attacked, getting ganked, getting hooked, and it's not working out for them. So, yeah. Down to the bottom of the map, they're already trying to take the camp. Even there, the hook, alright, only gets one of the minions. They still want this, by the way. And they are willing to fight for it. And they get it. Okay, Uther didn't make a play. Nobody really made a move. That gives them some experience back. I mean, it's better than nothing. Even get a hit against Carrigan, but then Stitches is ready with a helping hand. So he knows exactly how to play this one out. Good for him, too. And they could maybe go for Stitches here. Nice lock. Where's the damage? Temporal Loop is in and gets denied. Uther, of course, on level 7 now with the Hand of Protection. Can play this out against Chromie. Benny still taking tons of damage as Chromie is not shy of dropping another combo on him. But they still couldn't get a kill, and Lunara isn't even here. She's still at the bottom of the map dealing with the mercenary camp that was claimed a few minutes ago. So, yeah, another hit for them. Top side, still Urel. moving back now. We get Gorge, by the way, and already being used. Bye-bye, Arthas. Time to say goodbye. So he's gone, and that is kill number 4. Get your ult, drop a hook, use Gorge, get a kill. Easy. And they are hoping to get more. They're hoping for another Dragonite. Now, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. Falstad is at the top, plays against Leo now. It might, on the other hand. Yrel with an interrupt. There's the combo. Yrel gets hit. Ana trying her best. Ultralis came out too. And immediately Ana in trouble. Now, she can be quite happy that Gorge isn't back up yet, but look at Yrel. Yep, Yrel doesn't get a cooldown. Does she? Can she jump? There's the Dragonite, and Arthas comes back just in the nick of time to save the Space Goat. So Yrel is still alive, but the Dragonite has been taken. And we're talking a 1 level lead now. Entire level ahead. And taking a fort down finally. So that's what they're going for. Fort is still destroyed. Top side, yeah, Falstad is doing his best. But the blue team is still waiting for their first kill. They got their level 10, but they have to do something with it. So who's getting that kill? It has to be Chromie, essentially. I mean, Chromie at the end of the day is really the one, right? But we got the Saboteurs now with the Dragonite at the top. Just getting the abilities out, one Dragon's Breath after another. Harrigan is also starting to take the hit points out here. They're chasing at the bottom, but now the bird is in trouble. Nice! That was sexy. That was sexy. Not sure if you guys saw it, but look at Falstad and Uther when he tries to gust. Falstad realizes... We're going to take another look at it. That was pretty sweet. So Falstad gusts, Uther realizes it and says like, nope, I'm going to kill you. Drops the Divine Shield on himself just as the gust comes out and then gets the stun, and that's a kill. So very well done. Kill number 5. That was sweet. And now they have 2 forts destroyed. So 2 forts of the blue team are gone. And it looks more and more likely. I mean, honestly, getting a reverse sweep going is looking more and more like it's an option here. They could actually pull that off. That could be a thing. I really didn't believe in it when it was a 2-0, but now it's a 2-1, and in addition to that, we have them a bit ahead here. Yeah, a bit. 5 kills to 0. And on top of that, also, of course, the level 13 advantage. So yeah, things are looking good. They're trying to be aggressive now. There's the hook, Gorge. They actually get Ana with this too. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So Ana is still all the way at the front. Good gust. There's the Entomb though. And they're still trying to shield Khaldor, who might fall, and indeed does. The hook is too much. They get a counter kill against Leoric, but that's not going to be enough. They need more. They need more if they want to turn this fight. They need to at least take Harrigan down here, but I don't think they can. They don't have the sustain any longer, and now Rutsu is just jumping in, is about to take the Space Goat out. A bit of a heal, but this is the end of Sven. 2 heroes down, and they dominate the map. Absolutely. Control every single aspect of it right now. Damage output, Carrigan is at 15,000. Lunara, she's currently sitting at only 8k. Slows them down, chips in enough, but the real threat is Carrigan and also the drain of Leoric, as it seems. And there's another kill. They go for Arthas, he gets body blocked, gets hooked initially, and they slow him down with Lunara even further. And wait, what? Okay, there it is. Thank you. That would have been a bit of a meme. If Arthas actually survived through all of this, that would have been crazy. But yeah, so they kill him. They go for the double control immediately. They also have the top lane pushing. And yeah, this is just nasty. How do you bring this back? They're so far behind already. In just another few seconds, we're going to have a level 16 talent advantage on top of everything else as well. And so far, at no point has the blue team ever had a real chance of bringing this one home. So instead, there's another Dragonite. That's the 3rd one in a row, by the way, for the red team. And now they also have level 16 talents. That gives us Pulverize. That gives us Benediction. I mean, if you thought that things were already bad for the blue team, then think again, because those talents are going to make it even worse. Accelerated Contamination is in. They can go for the full Royal Focus setup here, which they will. And Carrigan, after the Chrysalis, is now also started to drop the Unbridled Energy. So this is a play for keep. And they might even be able to do more than that. We're only 10 minutes in, but just look at this gap. There's a 2-level disadvantage. And they're so far ahead here. It's ridiculous. Once that wall opens up, Stitch is going to get ready for another hook. And he's been hitting everything so far. And he nearly hits this one too. Falstad barrels away. At the last possible moment, he is able to get out. But yeah, that wasn't easy for him either. So it's bonkers. It really is. I mean, for now, what else do we get? They are playing around the bottom keep a little bit. I'm really surprised that they're not pushing harder for this. With a 3-level advantage, the stats lead alone is already nuts. But they are also behind in the series. They need to win this one. They need to win 2 in a row. So you gotta play it slow, you gotta play it safe. And taking another look at the damage output, Lunara is starting to catch up a little bit. Leo is actually ahead. 17,000 for him. Look at the siege damage, by the way, for Kerrigan. Kerrigan is at 96,000. Top numbers in this game for her. So, Stitches looking for another hook. Yeah, and nice patience on Gia. Nice patience. If he would have made any other play, I think he would have fallen. Either to a hook or to anything else. Lunara is now coming in too. Yeah, they try again with another temporal loop, but they're having none of it. Uther is always ready. Oh. Yeah, it's these dirty hooks, honestly. Getting those dirty hooks in the entire time and just trying to crush this. Hook after hook is hitting hard. And even if they don't hit, you know, they always keep you on your toes. And you're like, There we get the Embrace Death. You don't have to tell him twice. He's done that a lot of times already. Afterburner is in too. I'm telling you, like, drop the chili, bro. Drop the chili. I mean, seriously. Sustained wins and Afterburner. If that is not a clear message that you need to change your diet a little bit, then I really don't know what is. Up to the top, we still got Leo. And yeah, there's another objective on the line. And this time we're 12, 13 minutes in. So this is already a bit later. So what else are we getting? The CC is just nuts. I mean, again, we have Pulverize now too. Triangle of Death. The Bermuda Triangle. It's there again. They're trying to bait him in. The Raiders are just sitting at home now. The problem that I really have with it is that with level 20 plus also a Dragonite, yeah. If they get both, if they play this slow, it's going to be a bit of a disaster. I mean, it's another DK. It just has to buy a little bit of time. Kerrigan already has it. And now you can kiss that bottom keep goodbye. Leo is moving out. He might die. He's gonna die. He's not even dying. It's ridiculous. So he doesn't even die. They are already at the keep at the bot lane. Dragonite is saying like, hey boys, wait for me. I want to help a little bit at least. Let me do something here. So yes, the keep falls. And now they are sitting in the middle and they're going to do their work. They are opening another wall up, but the first keep is already gone. Now they can work on the second. And you take a close look at the experience and you realize immediately that level 20 is now ready. So there's another hook. There's the Gorge. And that is the end of the bird. Or it should be. Oh, they actually miss. Yeah, but they get him regardless. Even without the stun and the follow-up, they're able to get him. And now they go for Ana again. Ana is gone. Arthas is running away into the wrong direction. Urel gets her butt kicked a little bit, and, well, over here, Chromie goes for a timeout, but that's not going to help her. So, yes, they can end the game. I don't even know why they're wasting their time with the keep. At this point, you're just going for the core. You just go for the core and you end it. And, yep, that's where they had it. So, guys, I don't know what to tell you, but we're going to game 5. We are actually going the distance on this one. There is a chance for the full reverse sweep. They can actually pull that off now. Huge plays here. The Saboteurs are on their way to turn their game, the match completely around. All that the blue team accomplished on this map was a single kill. We are going the distance. We are going to game 5 as Shire is won by the Saboteurs. GG. Well played. Infernal Shrines, game number 5, our final map in the series. They are turning it around. So, yep, off we go, everybody. We got Infernal in. 40 heroes unavailable right now. 40 heroes have been played. 40 heroes cannot be picked again. So now you have to dig a little bit deeper on Infernal Shrines. There are still some really good ones, obviously. Maiev has been banned several times, so she's technically still up. I would be shocked if she doesn't get banned again. And I think the same is also true for Vala. So the two of them should be eliminated 100%. I don't see them making it through the draft. They would be first picked immediately. Now, we could see some crazy stuff. I mean, again, you can think about Ragnaros, for example. You can think about, I don't know, Nazebo. There's Chen that you can still pick. So a lot of heroes that are now getting super interesting, given that there's plenty of natural predators that they normally have to face off against that are already out and cannot be played any longer. So very curious. I mean, at this point, we're currently having Hogger banned out. Makes sense for Infernal Shrines, of course, as well. In addition to that, a quick ban on Maiev as predicted. I think now you have to decide whether or not you want to ban Vala. Since they have first pick, first ban, they don't have to do that if they're willing to pick her first, which I think they will do. Zarya gets banned, and now I would assume Vala is going to get murdered in the ban by the Saboteurs. I do not think they're going to let her in. Well, maybe I'm wrong. They banned Mephisto instead. Okay. So unless I've missed something, Vala is up and could now be chosen as the first pick. Damage is never really the biggest problem, but yeah, Vala is there. So Vala gets chosen. It doesn't surprise me in the least. Shouldn't surprise anybody that has been following this series and this tournament. So her as the first pick in game number 5 is more or less a given if you don't ban her out. How exactly are they going to react now, though? What exactly are the Saboteurs doing? Because they must have known that. They looked at this and they said, okay, we can ban either A or B. We have to face one problem. So which one are we more comfortable with? They thought they could deal with Vala. So let's see. Stukov, ETC as the early picks for them. So far, so good. Solid choices. Stukov is great here. ETC can really help them. And now more of a question on how exactly the Raiders are going to react to this. What's going to be the front line for them? Are we going to get a Chen, for example, also for the side lane? Are they trying to create some space with that? Are we going to get some kind of double support, which is technically still possible? I mean, there's plenty of support still up, of course. This being game number 5, but still. Mal'Ganis and Deckard Cain. Mal'Ganis was banned in the previous game, so he couldn't be played there. So they get Mal'Ganis and we have Deckard Cain. So 2 supports, one on each side, that are very, very good at controlling the choke points around shrines and can lock targets down further. Medivh getting banned so that Nano doesn't pick that up. That's a good choice too. That's a really good one, despite the fact that they have ETC and Stukov. If you have ETC, Stukov, then you can deal with portals a little bit better because you have nice portal controls through a power slide and a lurking arm. But again, it makes sense. It's definitely a good thing to just like shut that down so that they can't throw you a massive curveball and all of a sudden dominate the game. So, kind of like that. Yeah, and the blue team, they're banning Zul. Roaming Zul. Alex the Pro G says hi. That's something that we've seen, obviously, on Sky Temple and on many other maps. Another one that comes to mind would be Towers of Doom. So Zul roaming between the lanes and just getting the wave clear in and soaking as much as he can. But that strategy has now been shut down too, which leaves us with a double pick for the Saboteurs. They've won 2 in a row now. I mean, they were 0-2, and now they have game number 5. Can they win 3 in a row? They go D.Va and they go Greymane. D.Va! Time to play. Let's go. D.Va Greymane for the Saboteurs. And I still would love to see a Chen. I'm actually a bit surprised that we haven't seen him so far. What is the side laner going to be? Fat Illidan, or do they go for something else here? Could really jump onto Greymane, could jump onto Stukov. There are tons of choices though. I mean, people have been highlighting earlier that Illidan himself is also available, so that's another one. They get Samuro and they get Artanis. I could have seen Artanis being picked by maybe Dino again, but they go Samuro and Artanis. Yeah, on the last map, Samuro was actually banned, but now we got Samuro in the house, and there's our front line. Game number 5. I love Meta Madness. It's just fun. It's just really fun. So here we go. Samuro, Artanis, Mal'Ganis, they got them all. They got Vala behind this, healed by Deckard Cain, and the final pick is Kira. Oh, Kira is so trash. Kira's win rate was abysmal in all of the tournaments where she was played so far. Dino wants to change that. I mean, good luck, you know. If you can do it, if anybody can do it, it's you. I believe. But you really have to prove that to me, because Kira's win rate is garbage in these tournaments. But we'll see. Maybe they can pull it off. Infernal Shrines. Game number 5, the final map. Let's go. We got Johan on Mal'Ganis. We got Sven on Samuro, Nano on Artanis, Hunter Org is playing Arcane, and Gia on Vala. Still interested to see what his level 1 choice is going to be. I mean, you can go auto attack, obviously. You have a big frontliners helping you and creates some space, but you don't have the double support here. So it's likely that you will die a couple of times, particularly against heroes like Greymane. So you gotta ask yourself, are you okay with that, yes or no? Greymane, then again, on the other side, played by Hazops. We got Bad Benny playing ETC. Death Knight already on Stukov, and Dino with Kira as Rutsu plays Diva. So, with that now in play, we are looking indeed at Creed of the Hunter as the level 1 choice. So they are going to try and get the damage out with this, which they, well, can do, but first they are losing one of their heroes. It's Mal'Ganis that falls victim to the attack, and it's actually Kira that gets the kill. Viable, viable, viable. I mean, maybe not there yet, but yeah, we'll see. So, good job, at least initially. They get the first blood, and Vala gets a couple of stacks together. As I already mentioned, I expect her to die at least a few times, but it seems that they are absolutely okay with that. And yeah, Gia is starting to move around, gets immediately attacked, tries to get out, but Azu says, nope, not on my watch, I'm gonna get that kill. Nope. Bam. Yeah, and that is already some of the attack speed gone right there. Bit annoying for them. Very good, on the other hand, for the Saboteurs. Their draft is working in these early stages quite nicely. So, yeah, going well. And while we're looking at that, I mean, just check out Kira's damage. She's at 2,800 already. Samuro, of course, overall in the big scheme of the game is gonna be a nuisance and will not only go for kills and try and attack heroes, but also focus a little bit on trying to take structures down, which is another quite important one. Level 4 talents are starting to close in for the Saboteurs, which is fairly big because they have a big lead already. And it's the blue team that is deciding that they want to go for some camps here, as we have more talents kicking in. Alright. Yeah, seems like we also have a little bit of a display issue here for Kira's talents, at least. Alright. Oh, Gia, no! Vala killed, even with Kira dying. Even with Kira dying, we are now looking at a situation in which that trade is totally worth it, simply because she's losing more of her gambit stacks. That's now 10% of the attack speed removed. So, totally worth it. Totally fine here. So yeah, good stuff. Now, 3 kills to 1. We are looking at deflection on level 4 now. And it's starting to get a bit problematic. Because this is a level lead, and which will very easily translate into a level 7 advantage over the first objective. So, yeah. I'm a bit worried for them, I'm not gonna lie. Because initially when I looked at this, I really liked the draft that we see from the Raiders there, in comparison, obviously. I mean, once that you remove 40 heroes from the game, there are certain things that you have to just take account for. But generally, this is getting extremely tough here. Because right now, there are so many opportunities for the red team to pull ahead. Just getting the objective, getting the Punisher with a level 7 talent advantage is already a big step. So if they can use that, get Greymane and Worgenform onto the structure with a Punisher, then they can easily start to dominate maybe the top lane and snowball it from there. Unless, of course, we're going to get a few kills. Rutsu gets saved by the team. And it seems like Mal'Ganis is not so lucky. Nope, Mal'Ganis gets absolutely body blocked. There's no chance of making it out of that way. And yeah, good old Warcraft 3 surround right there. So that's kill number 4. 4 kills to 1. That's all that we got so far. And if you're thinking about it, that 1 kill on Kira was also where she just, yeah, committed suicide in order to get Vala and remove another Gambit stack. So that doesn't even count. There's the advantage again. They are going with 5 towards the top now, because Kira is still at the bottom of the map. So 30 stacks to 1. I really don't think that they can do that now, can they? turn that around with 30 stacks already in the hands of your opponent? Good luck with that. I mean, they'll try, but they're barely able to lock in level 7. The opponent already has level 8. So unless you get a couple of kills there, I just don't see it happening, especially now that Kira comes in and it's an actual 5 versus 5 match. So they go for Mal'Ganis again, and he's not a fan of this. They're trying to get a kill against ETC, and for some reason, the big beefy boy is not dying. Yeah, no beef today. There's no burgers on the grill. ETC survives, they slide in, take position on the shrine again to get the Frozen Punisher, and I don't see them missing out on it. So things are looking great now for the Saboteurs, and they are looking very tricky for the Raiders. They really want the reverse sweep. This would be huge. Huge reverse sweep in the Grand Final. From an 0-2 to a 3-2 victory. Can they actually do that? I really don't want to call it early, simply because we had so many moments where teams just screwed up a little bit over the course of the tournament, and all of a sudden they were just snowballed and lost the game. But now that we get another kill against Mal'Ganis, we're looking at 5 kills to 1. It's not only a level lead that we have, it's even more than that. And Vala gets caught and killed. Gia losing 15% of his attack speed right now. And this is kinda insane. I mean, come on. They got level 10 now, guys. They have actual level 10. Against an opponent that is on level 8.5. We get the bullet, we get the unrelenting strikes, and they're just picking up the kills wherever they find them. They're currently going through the Raiders like hot butter through cheese. It's Heroes of the Storm whack-a-mole. It really is. Hero shows up, Heroes gets whacked. 7 kills to 1, and what an insane lead in experience right now. Yeah, it's a bit bonkers. They can paint the entire map red, can take camp after camp. 15,000 damage on Kira's side. Job well done by Dino. I mean, he's really putting in the work here. And after they destroyed the top fort, they're now going straight into the middle and the bot lane and are opening this one up as well. So, there we go. They're starting to try and get a few more kills before the blue team gets their own heroic abilities. Let's see if they can actually pull that off. I mean, yeah, seems like Mal'Ganis is again the target. 10 is nearly ready though. Samura at the top is trying to get it for them. Bad Benny is getting out. Rutsu, look at that fort. They nearly got that too. Rutsu actually, no, he stopped the second that Vala drops the Rain of Vengeance. Oh, that's just rough. So yeah, 7 kills to 1. At least it's now level 10 against level 10. The old man is telling stories again. Stay a while, listen. And we got the Illusion Master plus the Suppression Pulse. I mean, the only thing that Atanis has to suppress right now is the Impulse to Puke, because he doesn't like what's going on here whatsoever. Drops the ult onto the fight over the camp. Yeah, and, well, they have to do something, so they're getting aggressive here. Nice ult from Deckard Cain. But they are losing the camp, and they might even lose the fight. Gia is insanely low, but makes it out of the battle. But they couldn't win this one. And in the middle of, for example, we have now a double camp pushing in for the fort, while the fight at the bot lane, they're suffering another death. They're losing Mal'Ganis, so he's also gone. How many times did he die? He died 4 times already. Vala died 3 times. It's not even a snowball. We're talking avalanche here. That's what's happening. 8 kills to 1, and it's an absolute bloodbath. They are murdering them. I mean, this is just rough. Someone needs to call the care police, because whew, there's a crime in progress right here, right now. Send an ambulance, please, as well, because this is hurting, and it's hurting a lot. They have no shrine anymore in the middle. Now we have another shrine activating, another objective, but, well, there's no... Jesus Christ. Stop kicking them while they're on the ground. Give them a chance. I mean, boys, come on. A little bit of mercy here. ETC with the ult. Now we got the bunny hop. The old man is dead. So is Vala. Nano dies too. And it is an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster here. 11 kills to 1. 13 to 11. And they have the entire map under their control. They can easily go into the middle, get the objective here, but yeah, it's just crazy. They're crushing them. Virulent Reaction, Chainsaw, good to go. Can say that again. I mean, she's really good to go. Going every single fight here. It doesn't really matter how many stacks Vala gets. She's at 123, but it doesn't make a difference because they just can't do anything. Vala dies over and over again, and with a 2-level gap between the two teams, the stats alone are already overwhelming that they have to go up against. And on top of that, you have a talent advantage on the red team that they continuously have to try and bridge. Yeah, Sven sits there, gets hit, and thankfully for him, not stunned. Could have been another attack. So, yeah. Saboteurs are starting to make this last map look like a quick match. They take the Punisher. Blue team is trying to get level 13, and there it is. So now they have level 13. Now they gotta defend somehow. We're talking keeps. We're 10 minutes in, we're talking keeps. All of the forts are gone. So, let's see what they can do. They need kills, they need them quickly, before the red team hits level 20. Oh, sorry, level 16. I mean, at this point, honestly, it doesn't make a difference. Both of those are going to be an issue. Unless they're fighting back and getting some kills. A good swap. Yes, there it is. Dino gets swapped in. They're swapping Dino. Nicely done. Deckard Cain again with the old unrelenting strikes. And bye-bye, Boomer. See ya. He's gone. Deckard is dead, but finally a kill. Kira is gone. She's eliminated, and, well, that's the second kill in the game, but that Mortar Punisher is still doing work, and it procs another stun against Mal'Ganis, and Johan, is trying to get out, barely makes it. That keep not destroyed yet. Not even sure if they're able to take it, but I don't think so. But just look at how close they are to 16 now, so that talent advantage is again going to be huge. Top side, they have to deal with this. Shikuchi is in, and we got the Graviton Vortex, as they're still chasing a bit. I mean, in particular, Samura is, of course, trying his best. 16 is on the board now. A bit of a slap from Stukov. Come on, man. Give him the big one. And that's the end of Bad Benny. Yes! Finally some kills! Look at this. The blue team, they haven't given up yet. They have not given up yet. They're still trying. They still have hope. I mean, hope dies last. But still, they got something going for themselves at least. So a little bit of momentum. A 5 versus 3 where you can pick up some additional mercenary camps. Where you can try to close the gap. So let's see. Who knows? I mean, maybe they're still pulling this off. One step at a time, baby. One step at a time. You go in, you get some kills, you get some experience, you get your next talent, you try to take a couple of structures down. And that's exactly where we're at now. 3 seconds for ETC, 5 seconds for Stukov. They are able to get some damage on the bottom fort, and Stukov has, oh, sorry, not Stukov, Samuro has already split towards the side and is doing work there. So, yeah, there's the chance for a comeback. 38,000 damage, by the way, for Vala. She's top damage in the game now. She has surpassed Greymin, she has surpassed Kira. And, well, despite the fact that she died 4 times and has essentially lost all of her attack speed, or most of it, she is still hitting hard. And there's a lot of melee characters against her. So, they might be able to catch up a little bit. It's a 3-level gap until the red team has 20. Oh, it's a trap! It's a trap! Did they trap anything here? Well, not really too much. Vala, though, gets more stacks together. More stacks, and maybe in the late game they can turn this around. But yeah, nice! Good ult! Good ult to catch Kira out. A swap is happening too. They focus her down, and Kira is gone. Khaldor as the weak point in the draft already. And now they go for Diva! And she's dead. So, interesting. Ladies, what's happening? 6 kills to 12. Closing the gap. And having a chance at an objective. It must be the money pick that Gia is riding. It must be the money pick. I mean, it is the best mount in the game. And rumor has it still that it makes you extra powerful. Nobody has really been able to completely deny that, so yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny, but I mean, look at this game. Look at how Gia is all of a sudden able to turn it. So now we have 17 to 17. They take the fort out before they're even going for the objective. I mean, the shrine is just now activating, so there was no time earlier to do anything here. Down at the bottom of the map, Raymond has been pushing a little bit, but Sven is still there with Samuro. And this is getting really interesting. This is insanely interesting. This turned from the Saboteurs just slapping the shit out of them to a game that could technically be won by the Raiders. But the Saboteurs, they're also realizing that there's still a keep in the middle that they might be able to grab, so they're going for that first. And the fight is now happening. They're starting to flank in here. Where's Vala when you need her? They're giving up the top shrine, though. Mal'Ganis is there against D.Va. Vala is now down here as well. They're trying to protect the keep as best as they can, no matter how low it is. It's still a level advantage for the Saboteurs. Still a level ahead. 25 stacks against 13. It is close. It's really close here. They're setting some traps on the map too. Yeah, here comes the push. Bit of a swap. They're trying. Can't get it. But now that they show themselves up at the top lane, it's of course an immediate push into the middle again. They're going for the keep. Blue team has to sacrifice it. There's little else that they can pull off here. But the gap in experience is starting to become a big worry. A huge one. It's only a single fort that they destroyed. So what do you do now? Seems like they're actually trying to. If they take both, Red team has decided that they're going to defend. They're not going to try and counter push. They're close to level 20, so they're trying to go for this. So they're trying to steal the camp away. They're trying to pin them down a little bit longer, allow for more time for Samuro to also get them experience. And if they can take at least the wall out, that would be great. The key is really to not stay too long over here. They need to retreat eventually. More than the wall, no. Just retreat, get experience, and that's what they're trying to do. As long as you have vision, play around that. You can't face an opponent that has level 20. Patience is a virtue at this point. We get the tour bus, and we have the stop and pop. More bunny hop. Oh yeah. And of course, the silent killer for Kira. But they're just starting to take camps. They're looking to get their experience wherever they can. Samura at the bottom of the map. And honestly, until the next objective is announced, they will have level 20. So nothing really changes on the map itself, but they will have a proper chance to teamfight. Still a lead for the red team, but there is a chance to bring this back. Now, 42,000 damage for Vala. Samura has actually not died. Samura and Greymane are the only one in this game that have not fallen yet. Both of them are still alive. So, good for them. And right here, top side, somehow he has to deal with this, which means that they got to move back a little bit, create some more space, and that leads to level 20 now on the side of the Raiders. Yeah, D.Va takes over at the top. Now we got 20 versus 20 after this is eliminated. And then things get spicy, because now Vala is also in control of Farflight Quiver. We got Respect the Elderly, also very nice. If he gets a good one off with Respect the Elderly, oi, 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 that would be big. Double charge for Artanis, and also the three-bladed style with the Seeker Swarm here. Yeah, these are some really sexy talents, guys. They really are. If you're not falling into the tour bus trap here, then you have a lot going for yourself. 6 kills to 12. There's an opportunity here, for sure. Which team wins the qualifier? First qualifier for Meta Madness, and it goes down to the wire. We go map 5, and it is a tense one. Yeah, there's the party. Only against Deckard. Gets interrupted. Alright, so far so good. Fight is going well for the blue team. Benny is a bit low. Everybody is still playing it out nicely, and it seems like Benny might be the one in trouble. Nano gets the kill. They come in for Dainu, and they take him down too. Kira is dead again. 8 kills to 12. Here's the opportunity. All of a sudden, they are the ones pressuring the map. All of a sudden, they are the ones bringing it back. All of a sudden, they are the ones taking the lead. Mid lane, bot lane, they're attacking everything. Fort already destroyed. Now the next objective is being announced, and they can collapse into the middle to try and get a bit more here. The Saboteurs are in trouble. They are in trouble. Red team is in dire straits now. How are they going to react to this? What are they going to do here? This is going to be the big one. Mid lane, they're not wasting too much time here. They're falling back towards the objective immediately. So, trying to get the shrine. And this is actually going to be huge because it travels to the bot lane, which is already opened up, and it is a frozen Punisher. The one thing that worries me, though, is if they don't take down this fort, there's going to be a catapult on every single one against the opponent. They don't have any. So, there's no counterbalance. Now, he's trying to push out the top a little bit, but it's the mid lane that would concern me the most, honestly. That's why we also have Sven moving in there, I suppose, and trying to push this back as quickly as they can. Now you have a chance. With that Punisher, with the frozen Punisher at the bot lane, you got a chance. You got a chance to win this. Oh, Yeah, this is gonna be quite something. They're even slowing this down slightly, playing this really close to home. Samuro is still scouting, and they got the Frozen Punisher. Alright, here it is. That's the push for keep and maybe core. Even getting the camp here, and that allows the... Oh my god, this camp is so good for them because it slows down the mid lane. It will slow down the mid lane and give them a little bit more time. Samuro is even there, sending some of his images over, can swap back out down to the bottom. That is big now. Alright, one tower is already destroyed. Time to party. Let's see what they can do. Is this the moment? Already, the bait over the wall. Samuro is there, middle of the map. There's a mercenary camp pushing with a wave. And here comes the huge fight, the big opportunity for the Raiders as they want to keep. They should be able to get it. Look how cautious the Saboteurs are now. They know that one kill, one bad step is all that's needed here, and this game is over. And the keep is falling 100%, and guess what? The fort in the middle, it's no difference there. This one is also going to get destroyed. So they're getting a massive amount of structures, but can they go for game? That's the big question. Can they end the series? Can they be the winner of the first qualifier, the champions here? Already, they're getting zoned out a little bit from D.Va. Yeah, even damage against Tannis, but it's not enough. They go for Benny again. And they're sieging up on this. Fort in the middle is about to fall. Not quite destroyed yet. Might actually not even be destroyed by the minion wave, thanks to the catapults here. So the blue team is falling back now. And they can't take this. They can't take it down. It's not going to fall here. Maybe Samuro is eventually going to be able to do that. But oh, what a game. 20 minutes in now. Oh, this is getting good. This is getting really good. And in the middle... That's a lot of catapults now. And that really annoys the hell out of me. I'm going to annoy the hell out of them too. So I guess Samuro is going to be the one to now move in and take it down. Yeah, are they trying to trap him here? No, okay. A little bit. But he's now pushing out the bottom of the map. And that's obviously pretty neat as well. By the way, Stukov has still not taken his level 20. I actually don't know if he just didn't realize. If you maybe pressed the buttons earlier and then forgot about it. We had 2 fights in the meantime. Okay, so next attack up at the top, and Samuro is finally saying, alright, this one's mine. Fort is down. And they're timing this one. Okay. So, with that, the next shrine is at the top. This is actually annoying for the blue team more so, sorry, for the red team more so than for the blue team, because it's the lane farthest away from the bottom of the map where they have lost their keep. That's that. So that is really annoying. And yeah, I gotta say, this is gonna get really spicy once the objective comes up, because now the pressure is on the Saboteurs all of a sudden. Pressure's on the Saboteurs when you think about it. Once that the fight at the top lane over the Punisher breaks out, it's the blue team that can push through the bot lane, and somebody will have to eventually move back to the core. And since we're already so late in the game, these catapults are doing enormous amount of damage. Yeah, they're double checking everything here. Vision is obviously already granted, so they know exactly where they are. And Samuro is still pushing at the bottom of the map. Sven is not wasting any time here. He needs to be careful that he can swap out whenever they're trying to go for him, but he is pushing this out time and time again. And up at the top, we now also have a cap of catapults. So, yeah, Samuro is trying to move away, and down here is already Hearthing. So, they're getting the oh! Alright, he moves out. Boy, that could have been close. Imagine them catching Sven. Oi, oi, oi. If they catch Sven here, then it's a problem. But there it is. Catapults at the bot lane. As already called. This is the problem. Now that the shrine is active, the catapults at the bottom of the map are going to reach the core. This is the issue, right there. Catapults at the bottom of the map. Middle gets defended. Over here, they're buying themselves a little bit of time. There's still also a camp that makes it for the top keep. Guys, the top keep is gone. Top keep will fall. And the core is soon going to be attacked. So the fight starts to break out. Samuro is moving in. You can see it on the minimap. The top keep is now also going to get destroyed, which leaves the red team with only a single keep. Yeah, there's the attack, and they got Kane shutting down ETC for a moment here. ETC being shut down hard, and Kira dies. She is the liability here. Called it in the draft, died 5 times now. Dainu is not able to make it work. He's not able to make it work. She's dead again. Benny, I mean, at this point, it's a desperate move, hoping that they are walking into him, which didn't happen. So now the top keep has fallen. We have catapults at the bottom. Samuro is getting some vision. I think they're going to try and go for a bit of a backdoor attempt in the middle. Escort those catapults in and try to pull it off that way. I don't see it happening, but what else are they supposed to do? They can do nothing else. It's the only play that they have. There's catapults now on the core, slowly on each side. They're going for Sudoku move over here, trying to do what they can. I don't see it, particularly with ETC already using his ult earlier. And as you can tell at the top, the core is losing hit points now. The shield is already gone. D.Va is dead. And the catapults are hammering away at the core. It is Winion time, baby. And they are winning this one hard. Another catapult is joining the fun. And you can kiss that bad boy goodbye. Down to 40%. They don't even have to go for the objective anymore. It might actually end right here. 8%. And that is game. The Raiders with a victory. And they crown themselves the champion of the first qualifier of Meta Madness. GG.